Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about a bunch of different equipments that you can get for your wheelchair that will either go onto the wheelchair or that you will wear to help you with day-to-day life. Now this is only my recommendations. I'll leave pictures and stuff on the screen of each equipment. I'll give a bit of an explanation for everything as we go along. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the first thing that I will be doing is talking about a backpack. Something so simple is so useful. Now with the disability, or a spinal cord I know a spinal cord injury is a disability, but you know, with a lot of disabilities you have a lot of medications that you need to take with you, you have a lot of supplies that you need to take with you, toolkits, all of this stuff, you know, I'll touch on them later. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that you need to take, and obviously if you're lucky you may have a little stash in the back here, or maybe in a compartment under the bottom there like I have. You know, they're not always guaranteed and they're not always the best. You know, I can fit just basic stuff in the bottom, and then you also may want to just take some of your own stuff, you know, some more advanced stuff. Another reason why you may want a bag, like a backpack or like an over-the-shoulder like satchel type thing, is because pockets in wheelchairs usually end up being pretty pointless and not very secure. They're more designed for if you stood up, because it like puts more tension across there and kind of seals it up a bit more, but when you sat down, you know, it's easier for stuff to fall out. So you know, you can use pockets, you know, you can get some pretty good pockets, zip up pockets and stuff, but I always find the bag's just so much easier. Now you can either wear the bag and like have it on your lap, or you can attach it to the back of your handlebars. I don't know if you've seen it in any of my videos, but I like have one strap going across there, one strap going across there, and it just kind of keeps it all together. So that's the first thing. The next thing I'm going to talk about is something that I don't know the name of, but if I do remember it later or I find it, you know, I'll show you on screen if I can find it as well, you know, but I can't remember it. But basically it's this motorised wheel that goes on the back of your wheelchair and attaches to this bar here. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but it will like come out here. Basically it's a motor wheel thing. It's not quite an anti-tip, because if you tip backwards you can still get your front wheels up and it's always touching the floor. You know, it's kind of like a loose thing that will angle down and keep flat to the floor, you know, because it's a round bar. It moves when you tip your chair up. So yeah, that's a basic description. Now I've seen it where it will attach to a watch, like it's Bluetooth linked to a watch, and then like you double tap your wrist and like hit your wrist twice. Probably shouldn't be doing that, that's a little bit dodgy. But anyway, yeah, you basically double tap it and then it will start pushing you. Now, I understand not everyone will like that, because I don't really like getting pushed in general, but I feel like it would be slightly different if it was a machine doing it, just giving me an extra boost rather than just straight up pushing. As well as the fact that, you know, it's not too, like, hands-on. Now, they are pretty heavy, so if you're planning on going up hills, I would recommend using it. I was speaking to someone on the course that I did a couple of weeks ago, because they had one and were talking about it, and it's heavy when going up hills. Apparently it doesn't too bad when just pushing along normally on like flat or rocky terrain, but definitely up hills, turn it on because it will help you a lot. But you know, if you don't want something that's going to power you, you may want something that's just going to help you on like rough terrain or just make it generally smoother. I'd recommend a freewheel. Now this is a wheel that will go on the front of your foot plate. It's this thing that will come out the front here. It will clip onto your foot plate, like it will grab on like that, you know, kind of snap on like that, and then it will be this extra wheel here that will raise your casters up slightly off the ground, and yeah, basically on screen I'll show you a couple of things, but it basically raises your front wheels so they don't get caught, and then it's an extra wheel which will make it smoother on rocky terrain. As I said, it's a bigger wheel, so you know stones aren't going to affect it as much. I don't know if they make it easier to push. You know, they don't really help you with the power. They don't change anything like that. Now, this is only something for people with like fixed frame wheelchairs and like metal foot plates, because I almost had one for my old wheelchair, but that had plastic foot plates, and that would just snap it because it couldn't handle my weight. I didn't I didn't try it, but I wanted to, but was advised not to because of it just breaking my chair. So yeah, definitely do it if you have metal foot plates. I don't have one, but I'm looking into getting one. They are just amazing. Ah, just wow. Now, you know, we've been through a couple of different things to help you get around, but what about some things for if you break down? Because, you know, for me, I have my small front stash here. I'll open it up and get some stuff out real quick. Some things that I keep in my like front stash thing is the basic first aid kit. It's got some plasters, some bandages, some safety pins, a fucking aeroplane for some reason, for fuck's sake. You know, it's just got some basic first aid things. Now, this is mainly because I'm an idiot and nothing really to do with my disability. However, if you needed to take any medications, you know, you could keep some in here and, you know, change them out if they have a use by date and stuff, you know, be sensible with it. Now, next thing that I'm going to pull out is going to look like a dick. But this is an air pump, you know, pump. Now, this is in case you get too cold or too hot. You know, you can just settle there, you know, blowing some cool air on your face. Only joking, it's a wheel tyre pump. Now, I don't know if it fits my tyres, so there's not really much point in me having this. You know, I might do a giveaway of a Beto cycling hand pump, you know, used once. I think I attempted to use it and it didn't fit, so yeah. Basically, try and keep a pump with you, preferably hand pump, because if you're using a wheelchair, you probably don't have the best leg use. Now, obviously, I'm not going to say to not use one, but they're big, they're clunky, just small hand pump, it's not that hard. But also one that fits your wheelchair, and one that can handle the pressures. Now, I didn't know this, but apparently most wheelchair tyres can go up to like 120 psi. And I was just blown away by that, because that's more than like what my dad's car can take by a lot. So anyway, yeah. In case you get it wrong with the air pressure, you know, your tyres might pop, and you may need a puncture repair kit. Now, I think I've used this once. Basically, it's some solvent and a patch to patch your tyre up, and some instructions and stuff. But yeah, this is basically some you're just fucked up fixer. Basically, it's just a puncture packet. If you don't know what it does from that name, then you know, I don't think anyone's going to help you with that. Now, another thing is a toolkit. Now, my wheelchair came with this. I don't know if yours will or not, but I've added a couple of extra things, such as a wallet ninja, which is just a basic multi-tool card thing. Except I don't keep it in my wallet, I keep it in my wheelchair. Now, this is really useful. I've used it a couple of times now. Not really for the wheelchair, but just in general stuff. And then obviously some spanners for all the bolts, and then Allen keys are probably the main things that you're going to use. Obviously, we did the video about wheelchair maintenance, and I might do a second part, because I've learned a couple more things since then. And I think that's pretty much it for my little stash under my seat. So I'm going to quickly load it back up and then continue with talking about more things that you should probably get. Next thing that I'd recommend possibly getting is a pair of fingerless gloves or grippy gloves. Mine are fingerless, but they also have a rubber material on the inside. Now, I don't use them that much because I don't really need to. That's because I'm fine with getting like callous skin and all of that stuff. Because the way that I see it is, if my fingers need to be tougher to push the chair, then they need to be tougher to push the chair. I don't see the point in protecting my hands that much. You know, it's not really that much of a downside. I do like have pretty tough hands because of it, so yeah, get gloves if you think you'd benefit from them, or if it's just cold. You know, your pushrooms are metal, they do get quite cold. So, you know, in winter months, it does pay off to have some fingerless gloves or something. Now, I think one of the... I'm an idiot and just tried to look for my phone. Now, one of the most important things is a mobile phone and a Bluetooth device that you can connect to. Now, I have a couple. I have my earphones, which are in my pocket. Now, these are good because they're small enough to not be too much of an issue, and I can always wear them. They, you know, they're good quality earphones. So, yeah, basically, with my earphones or my sunglass headphones, you know, I got that pair of earphones that I've used in a couple of videos. Basically, the reason why I'd recommend getting something that's Bluetooth and you keep on wearing, or like for me, I can also connect my watch up and have phone calls through that. But if you're pushing along, right, and you get a phone call, you either have to find somewhere to stop or one-handed push. Now, one-handed push is not always a viable option. See, I'm not going to discourage you from one-handed pushing. It is obviously a useful tool, and if you're well trained in one-handed pushing, then it shouldn't be too much of an issue. But you know what's a lot easier? Just tapping your sunglasses or tapping your earphones or answering the call on your watch. You know, it's kind of similar to driving. You know, you are in control of a wheeled vehicle that will hurt people if you aren't controlling it very well. And especially because you are pushing, you know, it is a lot harder to do that. So I'd recommend getting a hands-free headset, just for having calls. You know, I've done it a couple of times where I've been on the phone to someone at home and had to switch it over to my sunglasses because I was about to either use my hands for something, or I was about to use my hands for like doing something to the chair. Speaking of which, I need to clean the chair. Or, you know, just to kind of like push along. Now, yeah, I just can't suggest enough getting a pair of hands-free stuff. Like, it's just, there's plenty of cheap things out there, you know, 10, 20 quid. Usually good quality. I think I might give some suggestions in the comments. Thank you, words, because they are just so useful. They have saved me so many times, honest to God. Now, I think that's pretty much it, because everything else is either specific to me that I take, or like would recommend for your wheelchair, or is just easier to find something else with. Like, you can get specialized suitcase clips that attach to the back of your bar, but I've seen some people have a carabiner clip. They just attach it to the thing, attach a bit of string to their suitcase, and that's it. And that is genius. Now, the police are gonna come after me apparently because I hear a bunch of sirens, and yeah, that's pretty much it. If you enjoy this video, if you're gonna look into some of this stuff, you know, a lot of disability equipment is quite expensive, so if you either think that you can get away with not having it, or if you think that it's easier to think of a makeshift version, such as the Caribbean Eclipse, or the backpack, because you can get specialised wheelchair backpacks, but they're expensive as well. Just get regular stuff, you know. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know if you're interested in buying any of this stuff. I don't sell it, but I'd just be interested in hearing your thoughts and stuff. So yeah, I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.